What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video, and we are here with the UFC 4 career video. Has just dropped the trailer. Sorry. This is what I'm most looking forward to. As you guys probably know, I cannot wait for this career. I know a lot of you guys can't. Remember, this is just my thoughts, my first impressions, what I saw after a few watches. And remember, just because I say it, that we saw it and it was there, doesn't mean it will happen. The UFC 3 trailer was very misleading, unfortunately. Hopefully they haven't done the same here. But if there's anything I missed, let me know and I'll cover it if it was important. But other than that, don't get your hopes up too high. This is very, very fucking cool. But please, guys, don't get your hopes up too high, because UFC 3 did let us down with the trailer compared to the full game. And that was sad. And I hope they don't do that again. So let's start off with the story itself. Then we'll get into other things like injuries and Fighter Evolution, things like that. One thing they said is this is completely unscripted. This is a completely unscripted experience. You guys will never have the same experience twice. Unless you script it yourself, but in a way you will never have the same experience. Lots of things they point out that will just be fun gameplay wise, not even like cutscene wise, just gameplay wise is going to be fun. First things first, let's get started with Coach Davis. He's a real coach that is going to, I assume, travel with you through your entire career, which I think is amazing. He's going to be in your corner. You're going to feel like you have a real team now, not just a random faceless bunch of AIs. You're going to have this real coach in your corner who's helping you along the way. He's going to try his absolute best to help you grow as a fighter, as a adult, everything, and I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be fucking wicked, having a guy in your corner who you've trained with, who, you know, you've done everything with, and he's started with you at the very bottom, and he's worked his way all the way up with you, and you've worked your way up. Seems like we're going to have real cutscenes with him, people, coaches, Dana, fighters, everyone, message, text, tweets. You're going to have real interactions with people, and you can respond negatively, positively, which I'm going to try and show clips from the trailer up on screen as we go, and you're going to be able to react how you feel like it, and you're going to get real reactions back, not just lose a few fans. You're going to get real reactions that may affect your career in the future, and I think that's really cool. I think we're going to have to think about things, and we're finally going to be able to choose if we want to be the bad guy or we want to be the good guy, or just the man in the middle who talks shit when needs to, but doesn't always talk shit. Next up, we're going to start off with the starting points. You have a couple of starting points, starting places, whatever you may prefer to call it, in this career, which is quite cool. You don't just have one part where you have to start. They said we have a choice. We can go to the amateurs, which, I suppose people start off in the amateurs. You kind of have to. You can start off in the amateurs, kind of get a bit of experience there and move on. They said you can go to the WFA, which is where you start in UFC 3, or you can go on Dana White Tuesday Night Contenders. Seems like that could be more risk, though. They said, if you want to risk it, move straight up to Dana White Tuesday Night Contender. I think there's going to be high levels of competition, and I think it's generally going to be one of those things that if you do go there, you're going to have to work your arse off, because you'll probably get starched quite quickly if you're not ready. So I think a lot of people will probably want to do it all. Start off in the amateurs, go up to the WFA. You can win titles. You might end up even going back there. They said you can go back to the WFA if you get cut from the UFC. So that, in a way, I know this sounds really stupid, that makes losing sound fun, but we'll get into that in a second. So, I think the free starting places are cool. Everyone's going to have a different experience in a way, especially at the start. You pick 3 people and they're all going to bloom this whole different career, and you never know where they're going to end up. Personally, I think I would do the amateurs, then the WFA, and skip Tuesday Night Contender on my first career, then afterwards do amateurs, then Tuesday Night Contender. I don't think my first career I'll go straight into Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender series. I think just for purpose, that'd be more fun to go to the WFA, win titles there, be like the best WFA fighter of all time, then go to the UFC. I think that'll be more fun for a lot of people. And once you're into the UFC, or once you're further into your career, maybe not in the UFC, maybe once you're a champion at the WFA, or you are in the UFC, they said you can be cut. So that means, you might lose, and then you have to work your way back up. And to me, this sounds really weird, like I was saying. That makes losing sound fun. Like, maybe if you lose, you might not even be mad. You might be like, shit, I lost, I've been cut from the UFC. Alright, time to work my way up again, and have this, MMA, you very rarely get people that are undefeated, and that's what makes MMA so fun. Boxing is like you have to remain undefeated to be the GOAT, whereas not many fighters are undefeated these days. Yeah, Khabib and Adesanya, but some of our favourites, Diaz, Conor, Masvidal, Gustafsson, everyone, they've taken losses in their life in one way or another, and I think that's so exciting that people aren't going to be so bothered now about being undefeated all the time. People are going to want realistic records, realistic careers, and I think that's what they're really forcing down our throats. Like, losing is not a bad thing anymore. It happens to the best of the best, and it can happen in any way, which we'll get onto the moment with the injuries. It can happen anyway. We'll get onto that in a minute, though. They stated you can finally go up and down in weight to change or give yourself a challenge. So finally, guys, we'll be able to go up and down as we please, and that does mean we'll be able to cut weight or go up a weight. I think cutting weight will be more of a challenge when it comes to the training, but going up weight will probably be a bit easier because you'll be a bit of a larder person, but you'll obviously be a bit slower. But finally, we have that choice. That's what we wanted. That's all we wanted for so long, is to move weight as we see fit, like fighters, like Cowboy does, like McGregor does, like Diaz does. We finally get the choice that, you know, we're not stuck to a certain point where we have to become champion to move weight classes. We can finally just say, yes, let's move weight classes. Simple as that. It's just going to be so much fun. I'm so excited for this game. Next up, these two things go together. Short notice fights are back, obviously. It's part of UFC, part of MMA. And but these ones seem genuinely more important, not just like, okay, you've got 2 weeks to train. This is going to be something very important. They've said injuries. Obviously, you have real sustained injuries. Short notice fights will give you higher chance of injuries. You get injuries like critical head injury, critical body injury. They are more likely on short notice fights, but not impossible, even if you've trained properly. So I think that's going to be really cool. You know, if in sparring you take a shot to the body, then in a real fight you take a nasty hook to the body, that could be the fight done. You could break a rib and you could be out for 8 months. And I think things like that are going to really make a difference in this game, and you're going to want to train properly. Some short notice fights you might not want to take. I think some of us are going to be in our career and be like, all right, at the minute, you know, we're 15 and 2. You know, we've got a short notice fight against Kamaru Usman. The only people crazy enough to take that is Jorge Masvidal, and I don't think I'm gangster enough for that, I think I'll back out of this one and not take this short notice fight. So I think the injury system, and it could end your career. You take a bad shot to the knee multiple times in multiple fights, that's your career done. You know, you wouldn't be able to actually fight in real life with a shattered knee like that. So I think that's one thing they've done. They're making it as real as possible, and unfortunately in life not everything goes perfectly, and that's one thing I think they're really focused on. Next up, we have the new relationship system. This is just something nice. You get to become friends, but you get to become enemies. You have real fighters that are friends. You have real fighters that are enemies. They can come and spar with you, get real rewards or consequences depending on how it goes. One thing they state, do not knock out your friends. That will be seen negatively by a lot of people, but the only flip side to that coin is it could hype up a possible fight. If I say spar with Khabib, I take him to the ground. I know it's unlikely. I take him down. I knock his ass out. We then fight. That fight hype is going to be huge. That's going to be big money, big fans, everything, because that hype is already there. And that is something that's going to be fucking wicked. I think for my first career, I'm already planning what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to be as nice as possible when sparring, unless it's against someone I hate in real life. But, you know, I want sparring to go well because you also gain moves from those people. For example, the Tyron Woodley, big overhand. If you spar with him, you gain that move. Imagine what you can gain from fighters like Khabib. Imagine what you could get from Jorge Masvidal. What's his most iconic move at the minute? That flying knee. Imagine if you spar with Wonderboy, what you could get from him. So I think it's a good idea to earn as many friends as possible and really see what they've got to offer. And if they haven't got much, fuck it, make them an enemy. Why not? Just shit on them on social media. One thing they said as well, which is awesome, is finally you can call out fighters directly to gain hype and possibly get their attention and the attention of more fans. Not this time like on UFC 3 where you win 3 fights in a row, then Rumble Johnson says, I'm the next big thing. It's like, bro, you've been fighting for 5 years. That storyline makes no sense in UFC 3 where a fighter like that says, I'm the next big thing. It's like, Diego Sanchez, you're 39 years old. You were the big thing 15 years ago. Shut up. So I think that's something that they're doing, that you can actually call out the fighter. They might ignore you. You never know. Or they said you can use social media, become their friend, spar them, and learn moves from particular fighters. So you could get a champion lineup of friends, supporters, sparring partners, and learn from them all and become an ultimate fucking killing machine. But it's your choice. You might go into sparring, but then knockout's going to happen at any moment. You could throw a big overhand, a big massive overhand, someone with a slightly weak chin. Boom, they flatten. That's it, you're not friends with them anymore. Or you have to work very hard to become friends with them again and refuse any fight you get against them. So far, the relationship system, going to the UFC, possibly being cut, the starting point, everything looks so beautiful in the story itself. That's all I know from the story so far. That's all I picked up on. And we're going to go on to, or that's all I thought was important, should I say. We're going to go on to fighter evolution, XP, growth, things like that. In my opinion, at first glance, I didn't see much, but when I started to pause it, I saw a lot. They showed a lot of different styles. They showed kickboxer, boxer, balanced, wrestler, and jiu-jitsu. Those are the 5 ones I saw initially. But each style seems to have a subcategory. So boxer had powerhouse, kickboxer had pressure. I don't know what they mean or what the difference is. I didn't see any for jiu-jitsu, wrestler, or balance, but for those two, I saw powerhouse for boxer, kickboxer, and kickboxer had pressure. For example, the powerhouse was a 5.5-star stand-up, no, a 4.5-star stand-up, sorry, a 2.5-star grapple, and a 4.5-star health. The kickboxer pressure had the exact same stats, but why would it have the same stats? It's got different perks, but I'm just curious to how that's going to work out, and how many subcategories each of these categories are going to have. Is boxer going to have powerhouse, you know, like high pressure? Is it going to have, like, you know, high combos? Are you going to be able to have multiple amounts of boxers, multiple amounts of kickboxers, multiple amounts of wrestlers? And you're always going to be different constantly. And there was some perks that I saw. Just these are a few perks I saw. You got force of nature. Incoming damage is less effective if you have more health. That was for powerhouse and boxing. These first 5 are for the boxing one, except for the third one, which I will remind you guys which one it is. Fast hands, hooks, uppercuts, and overhands are faster and more accurate. That's for obviously powerhouse boxer. This one was for powerhouse boxer and pressure kickboxer. That's bulldog. Blocks are more effective when standing still or moving forward. And then you've got, for powerhouse boxing again, pay to miss. Sways while standing still or moving forward are more effective. And one more for powerhouse was to your feet, able to get up faster from the ground, or to get up from the ground more easily. And then you have the next 4 with all for the kickboxer one. Carved wood, incoming damage is less effective when you have less health. Higher altitude, strikes consume less stamina during round 3, 4 and 5. Marathoner, actions consume less stamina while moving. And Nightmare, boosts a fighter grapple defense whenever they are in bottom guard. So those are some of the perks I saw, some of the styles, and some of the subcategories I saw. They've got things broken down, and I'm just going to go through 2 of the most exciting ones for me. They listed a few, like BJJ, but a lot of them were just different get-ups. But this one's very exciting in my opinion. No one's going to have the same stats. They're just not. No one's going to have the same stats or the same fight unless you plan it. They got Muay Thai level 1, and it had things like this: clinch elbows, clinch body hooks, clinch knee to body, clinch knee to head, clinch knee to legs, clinch body uppercuts, and clinch uppercuts. So you're going to be so specific with what you can do inside the clinch. Imagine what they're doing with the stand-up, the grappling, the submission game. Imagine how specific that's going to be. And then I saw a little snippet that said heavy bag. So obviously you'll be able to train on the heavy bag. And I think you're going to be able to train on pads as well. And you've got things like lead body crane kick, body knee, lead body knee, hook kick, lead hook kick, lead leg kick, elbow, and clinch elbows. So there's going to be so much to unlock, and so far it looks amazing. But that is all I saw from the video. After a few, I watched it maybe 5 or 6 times. I just wanted to get some bits, and I paused. I writ a lot down, so I hope you guys appreciate the work I put into this video. And yeah, if there's anything you guys want me to cover, like the gameplay or more specific perks and XP and things like that they shoe, then I'll be more than certain to. But so far, this career, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give this career a 10 out of 10. It looks fucking awesome already. I'm so excited to play it. I cannot wait for the full game to come out and to do a career for you guys. And I think you guys are all going to really enjoy it. Make sure you let me know what you want to see when UFC 4 drops from me 7 days early. I get it 7 days early for 10 hours only. So you guys all need to decide on what you want to see. So far, we've got the full roster and a few gameplays. But let me know what you want to see in particular, so I know what videos to get out and what you guys want to. Yes, let me know what videos you guys want to see when the full game drops. And make sure you leave us a like. Don't forget to subscribe down below. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.